Hello, my name is Phương Anh, and on behalf of my team, we would like to give you a presentation about the financial performance diagnosis of Tiền Phong Plastic Company and Bình Minh Plastic Company. This is our executive summary. Our presentation will give a comprehensive understanding of financial performance among Tiền Phong Plastic and Bình Minh Plastic. We will use 5 financial ratios, which is ROE, gross profit margin, current ratio, days sales outstanding, and debt to equity ratios. This will help to identify the differences in the financial health between NTP and PMP to help our firm make investment decisions. The F-test and the T-test between Tiền Phong Plastic Company and Bình Minh Plastic Company will be used for evaluation and decision making. The F-test will determine whether or not the variance of the two samples are equal. Then use the T-test to compare the NTP and PMP mean. Generally, NTP is better than PMP based on the ranking that NTP has outperformed 3 out of 5 ratios. This is our outline. About the industry overview of plastic industry. Generally, Vietnam plastic industry is one of the industry with relatively fast growth comparing to the other industry. They grow at the average rate of 11.6% a year, faster than the 3.9% growth of the world plastic industry from 2012 to 2017. It is forecasted that the volume of the plastic product has 6.5% CAGR from 2019 to 2023. Trade war between China and US led to the fall of raw material price in the quarter 4 2018 and quarter 1 2019. Vietnam Plastic Company could decrease their raw material costs, which can lead to the increase of net profit. Foreign companies will prefer to purchase plastic products from Vietnam rather than China due to its higher taxes. Vietnam also gets advantage in attracting FDI companies to invest in the plastic industry because of the cheap recycling material and low labor costs. In Vietnam, NTP and PMP share the plastic market with 26% and 27% respectively. This is moving deeper into the background of two companies. Tiền Phong Plastic Company. 1958 marked the very first Tiền Phong Plastic factory in An Đa, Hải Phòng City. The companies were established by the Ministry of Light Industry. After 2004, it transformed into the Joint Stock Company. From 2014 to 2016, NTP has witnessed a rapid increase in the revenue, 20% annually, and continues to go up 2% per year since 2017. Despite that its net profit is not much promising as it went up slightly during 2010 and 2017 and dropped to $331 billion USD in 2018. This was explained due to the increase of raw material. Luckily, the number bounced back to 409 billion BND last year. About the Bình Minh Plastic Company. These companies were being founded in 1977, and ever since then the company has been known as one of the southern Vietnam leading plastic companies and a pioneer in the construction plastic pipe market with 43 years of experience. Since 2006, the company is listed in the Ho Chi Minh City Stock Exchange. From 2010 to 2019, its revenue increased gradually, with sales in 2019 reached 4,337 billion BND. The same situation with the Tiền Phong Plastic is that its net profit shows a revenue performance to the reverse performance to the revenue. From quarter 4 2016 to quarter 1 2017, the net profit declined significantly due to the fluctuation in its raw material costs. Furthermore, PMP has spread its factories in Long An. Although it is a great long-term strategy, but it might cause a pressure on the margins since the sales are not improving. Moving on to the financial indicator explanation, first is the ROE. This ratio is certainly a hint that manager is giving shareholder more for their money. It reveals how effectively the company manages its shareholder equity. Many people refer ROE because the equity represents the owner's interest in the business. The high ROE could indicate a good utilization of equity capital, but it could also mean the company has taken out a lot of debt. As equity equals assets minus liabilities, which is also known as debt. If we consider the debt income and assets are constant, hence high ROE means low equity, also means high liabilities. Excessive debt and minimal equity capital, also known as high debt-to-equity ratio, might make ROE look artificially higher comparing to the competitor with lower debt. Therefore, we also need to look at the debt-to-equity ratio. Next is the gross profit margin ratios. These ratios show the ability of the entity to generate profits from the income by comparing entity gross profits to its sales revenue. Normally, the higher the gross profit margin is, the more available for the company to invest, save, or cover indirect expenses. A lower profit margin indicates the less profit on sale the company is making and is consequently less effective at generating raw material into income. So, higher ratio, the higher the better the company's performance is. Next is current ratio. The current ratio indicates the liability of the company to pay its current liability by using its current assets. High current ratio, which is over 3, may indicate the company does not use assets effectively. Moving on to the days sales outstanding. The days sales outstanding plays a virtual role in measuring the liquidity of a firm's current assets. A high debtor days value means the company experiences a tough time when turning credit sales into cash, and a lower debtor days value means high cash flow measurement and liquidity. Finally is the debt-to-equity ratio. The debt-to-equity ratio measures the financial health of a company. Ratio above 1 means the company capital relies on debt rather than equity. Hence, the company becomes more sensitive to crises, which can lead to bankruptcies. Borrowing can create the opportunity for the company to develop, but it also can affect negatively on the company's profitability. This is our group methodologies. To evaluate and compare two companies, our team decided to use two test functions, which are F-test and T-test. The F-test is used to see whether the two variances are equal or not. As B-value 1/tail less than alpha, which is 0.05, or F critical 1/tail less than F, we can conclude variances are unequal and vice versa. 5 ratio that we analyze show unequal variance. Therefore, we use t-test to check if the ratio of NTB and BMB are independent or dependent variables. Our team used the t-test assuming an unequal variance in the tab data analysis for all 5 ratios. Moving on to the analysis of 5 financial indicators, first is the ROE. As can be seen from the table result from the running t-test, the B2 tail is higher than alpha, which is 0.05, so we accept the null hypothesis, which is not much different in the means of each sample. Hence, we conclude that NTB and BMB are dependent variants. NTB mean nearly equal to BMB mean. Both NTB and BMB have capability to earn profit from equity similarly. Moving on to the gross profit margin. For the gross profit margin ratio, after conducting the t-test analysis, we can see that the t-start is higher than t-critical and the b-value is lower than alpha, which both indicate the null hypothesis should be rejected. So the two variants of NTB and BMB can be considered to be independent. The mean of NTB is higher than BMB. As a result, NTB has higher gross profit margin than BMB. with the import tax of BP plastic has increased 3% since January 2017, as well as the fluctuation in the exchange rate of USD dollar and euro. The cost of goods sold of plastic company has increased significantly. However, by having the good forecasting ability, NCB company has come up with several policies to stock its raw materials, as well as create a budget saving for only price risking to avoid the impact of increased cost of goods sold to the company's profit and performance. Moving on to the current ratio. As can be seen from the table, the B2 tail is less than alpha, so the variance of the two samples of current ratio are independent. The NTB mean is less than BMB means. However, we cannot conclude that BMB managed its liquidity better than NTB because the current ratio of BMB is too high. It is over 3, so it's proof that the company did not manage its cash effectively to earn the money for its investor. We can conclude that the NTB managed its liquidity more effectively than the BNB. Next is the day sales outstanding. We can see that its B value is less than alpha, so we reject the null hypothesis and that there is a difference in the means of each sample. NTB and BNB are independent variance. NTB mean is higher than BNB means, which means the BNB managed its cash better than the NTB, which has 333 days for NTB and 234 days for BNBs. By applying fair policies to draw the cash flow from consumer, BNB can minimize bad debt risk, day sales outstanding, which are faster than NTB on average. Finally is debt to equity ratio. We use the t-test assuming for an equal variance. As we can see from the table, the b value is less than alpha, so the difference between the means is statistically significant. We reject the null hypothesis, and variance of NTB and BNB is independent with each other. Although NTB has lower mean, their ratio was too low, which means that they did not use effectively their debt to grow their business. Otherwise, NTB have higher mean, which was still below 1. Hence, NTB managed their debt more effectively than BNB. This is our assessment summary and ranking. To use to assess two companies, which one is better than the other will be awarded 2 points. Among the 5 financial indicators, profitability and financial leverage will have more weight than the other 2. Below is the table that marks two companies, with the total weight point of NTB is 2.67, which is higher than BNB, who is have the 2.33. This is our conclusion based on this graph on the previous ranking table. Thin-film plastic has shown to have higher rank compared to bundle plastic, which is larger profit margin and good debt management ability, as well as using its equity efficiently. Thin-film plastic seems to be more attractive and safer to invest in than bundle plastic. This is our reference list. This is the end of our presentation. Thank you for listening and have a nice day.